A little bit of deja vu, guys. A little bit of more of the same as the Knowles moved to 1-7. Oh, man, really tough to watch that game. Uh, Luke Cromenhawk continued to show some flashes. Brock Glenn gets the start again, but I believe he only got 2 series before they put Luke in there. He really made some plays. There weren't a ton of drops early on in the game. One big one by Hakeem, you may not even call it a drop, just kind of not on the same page. He broke a little bit earlier on the route, or it was like almost like he misadjusted to it in air. He just broke, misjudged the route. That was a big play early on. The one big offensive drive, Florida State goes down and gets a touchdown. Our guy Luke really showed off his wheels, his athleticism, as the kind of announcers talked about over and over again as my dog goes crazy in the background. So that was the one kind of big highlight of the game, was that one big, it was like a 60-yard rush by Luke. They end up getting in the end zone. I swear, I promise I won't talk about Toafili for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game or the post game here. But yeah, just a whole lot of the same of what we've seen all year. They really tried to get Lloyd McCoy and Elijah Moore going in this game, so happy to see that. But you kind of get what you get with the freshman tight ends and the freshman wide receivers. The seniors have been dropping the ball all year, so you want to see these guys get a chance, but they're not exactly clutch players yet at this point in time in their career. Miami had some pretty damn good linebackers. We talked about the matchups as far as the secondaries and what Florida State needed to do in this game to have a chance to win. If you watched our show on Friday over at the Renegade Report, it played out pretty much how I called it, just the offense couldn't get things done. There was opportunities to be made in the passing game. It didn't come together. Luke made some good throws, as I said. Florida State's offense against that defense, there's so many things. I know people weren't too happy with not kicking a field goal late, going for it on so many fourth downs. Mike Norvell it feels like he almost gave up there in the second half. The defense really had started figuring some things out. It's easy in hindsight to say he should have punted on those fourth downs, but he converted 2 or 3 of them. Really got some momentum there going from that. So I can't blame him too much for those. But it was just really tough. It's hard to judge this defense based on, a game that Mario Cristobal is going to call, the game that anybody's going to call against this team. If you're not going to push it, they're going to keep running the ball. Tough to watch. It's easy to sit back and question those decisions to go for it on fourth down and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, people have to make a play. I promise I'm going to go on a rant about Toafili, but I promised y'all I wouldn't do it in the first 10 minutes. Even leaving him out of it, you're in the second half, you're trying to get a drive together, got a few positive things that happen. You come out, you run it with him on first down, Lawrence Toafili. He gets 6 yards. That's fine. You bring the next guy in, Keziah Holmes. Keziah Holmes really showed me something there. You dropped him, you handed him the ball 2 or 3 times, and then he's off the field. It's like Mekhi Danzy gets out there and gets a handoff. Now, Mekhi Danzy's supposed to be the Lawrence Toafili on the offense, a tailback, not a running back. But he gets a carry. I don't understand why every drive you have to have 4 or 5 running backs touch the ball. Why they won't kind of lean on somebody. And I'll get into that more later. But I thought you saw flashes on the offense. If there's one thing I will say, us being in this game for that entire first half and getting to watch Luke do his thing, that was probably the most fun I've had watching FSU football all year. As gut-wrenching as it was, and the bigger the knot kept getting into the third quarter, and then it's over with. Yeah, that all sucked. But I think a kind of a conversation we can have right here before I start hammering into the things that I didn't like to see on the field. I think Brock probably lost his job. Curious what you guys think about that, but I think the reason that you saw Luke come out last game I was kind of thinking, hey, I don't know exactly how far into the installation of the offense and learning everything Luke needs to know he is, given the fact this is only his third year playing quarterback, all the things that you guys heard on the broadcast, and I've told you over and over again. Um, they were talking about coaching him up on the sidelines and Malik Benson drawing out plays with him and things like that. I think him getting reps with the first team for a full week would be a big help. I feel like he's earned that shot to start a game, to go in there, and at this point of the season, uh, the development of these guys. There comes a point when you hear players talk. The ones that I've talked to, different things I've watched over the years, they all kind of say, as you get closer and closer to championship weekend, uh, these true freshmen, they start turning into pretty much sophomores or redshirt freshmen. A kind of click will go off. We already saw that light bulb go off a bit for Luke, with him getting on the field the past two games. So yeah, he's got at least two more games to burn. So whether you do it in the next two games or whether it's that third game, I hope he gets a chance to start, see what you got there. And yeah, one major bright spot on this team is Luke Krummenhoff. I don't buy the rumors he's thinking about transferring or anything of that nature. Big Luke Krummenhoff fan, so shouts out to him. I believe it was Sam Singleton on one run for about 4 yards, completely laid the wood and knocked the dude out. I liked our running backs all night. I thought, just again, Mike Norvell kind of, for whatever reason, they don't trust it. I feel like this offense gets itself in so many holes throwing the ball, and it's like you hear the announcers, oh, they actually ran for it again on first down. I'd like to see what the average is of the yards per carry on first down is for this offense, because so many times you throw it on first down and you're incomplete or you're sacked for a 2 yard loss, and then you run it and it's telegraphed. You can see it from the bleachers. It's telegraphed, and then somebody gets no yard. But you turn around, you hand it off on first down, then you get a big passing play behind that, and what do? You run up and you throw it to three times in a row, and you're off the field. So I don't know. I don't claim to be smarter than any coaches that coach at this high level, anybody that played the game at a high level. It just seems to me, low snap counts, limited possessions, all these things. Just have a little, even if you only get 4 yards, you run for 2 yards both plays. It makes everything easier for Luke and things of that nature. When you got a true freshman quarterback out there, and you can just see it at times when they blitz, it's hard for him to handle it unless he breaks out and runs. And I think they'll do those things. Um, I'm not going to make it to 10 minutes. I lied. We're at 8 minutes and 49 seconds. Toafili, I'm going to reach out. I haven't been bothering sources and doing too much the last couple weeks, because you guys are tired of hearing the bullshit from practice, and this guy said this and this player meeting happened and all that stuff. Guys, it's to the point where, you know, that shit's going on deaf ears. I'm not gonna. We've had all the conversations about the different coaching staff moves that could possibly happen in the off season and things of that nature. But as far as my pet peeve and the one thing I've really been bitching about, I think he got 6 carries tonight before garbage time. Lawrence Toafili, he's up over 4, close to 5 yards a carry on the year. I don't. I alluded to it earlier on the one drive in the second half where it looked like they had something going. He comes out, big run on first down, and that's it. Then it's Keziah. Keziah continues to do well, gets you downfield, and then you get in a critical situation and you throw a true freshman out there. It's like people are begging to see Llewellyn McCoy, Elijah Moore, these tight ends, because these wide receivers, they've been trouble. All these seniors, Portier, Malik Benson, they haven't been making the catches. So, like, I get he's kind of had a cattle prod stuck to his back, kind of forced him to play these young guys. They've been putting forth effort. He gets hounded by the press. But, like, Danzy, like, how is that the play you get a Danzy, a straight up? I'm not sure if it was a stretch or what, but every week I have to listen to the announcers agreeing with me, and I get they don't cover Florida State full time. A lot of the times, the stuff the announcers say is stupid. But to me, to this day, Lawrence Toafili is the best player on the offense. and for whatever reason, they don't want to give him the carry. So, yeah, somebody says Lawrence must be hurt. It's got to be it. He's got to have been dinged up since camp or something. But what I don't understand is he gets tons of snaps. He had 50 snaps last week. Yeah, I'm not sure how many snaps exactly got this week, but I don't know if it wins you the game. But I just feel like with how things keep falling apart, all these issues that happen, um, every time you hand Toafili the ball, I have no worries. I don't feel like there's about to be a pick six or this or that outside of a holding or something. But yeah, Maury Smith. I know everybody hammers the offensive line. I've probably done it less than all the other channels, all the people on my channel, just because it is what it is. It's a horse that is dead and beaten. They went with their 8th different offensive line unit. I believe the 7th one they've started a game with this game. You get Robert Scott in at left tackle because Darius is out. Early continue to improve. You get to see him. Jacob Rizzi gets to start, I believe, at right guard. I could have the guards flipped, but it is what it is on the offensive line. But Maury Smith, man, as a guy that's got 3,000 snaps or whatever it is, been here forever, year after year, he keeps beating everybody out. You bring in these guys in the portal, he beats them out. Um, Guys out of high school beats him out, keeping all these young guys off the field. And for whatever reason, like there's been some bad snaps and things in history. I have to go back and look at the advanced statistics, but like it's unreal. I can't remember the exact play, but it might have been like Toafili's second rush or somebody else was running it. But the running play got ruined because it was a high snap and it threw everything off. Um, yeah, more bad snaps, breakouts again on the offensive line. But again, like I think the best thing for this offensive line would be more run calls and handing the ball to Toafili more. But for whatever reason that isn't happening. Maybe it's injuries. Maybe I'm beating a dead horse. Um, but yeah, as far as the defense goes, I want to sit here and say, yeah, the defense did enough for us to win this game. The first drive that Miami came out, of course, they freaking up the field quick. That first scripted drive was tough. They cut through us like a knife through butter. But after that, for a good whatever it is, 20 minutes of the game, it feels like you only gave up 10 points. You're doing pretty damn good. It was 14-7. You had all the chances in the world to close that off. You never did. They end up getting another touchdown and or another field goal and another field goal. And at a certain point, just like Duke last week, it looks like Mike, or not Mike, but Mario and them watched that Duke tape, and they were content to just let FSU's offense lose it for themselves. No, people aren't going to love the defensive play calling, and it obviously didn't work on the first drive. They gave up those gashes and that touchdown quick. But basically, and it's kind of what I alluded to on the show, what was going to happen, like they just said, all right, Miami, you're going to have to beat us running the ball because we're going to dare you to throw it with Cam Ward and try to bait you into a pick six, turnovers, and things of that nature. And I will give Cam Ward this. I wanted Cam Ward from the jump. That's the guy that I wanted out of the portal. I thought he was the best portal quarterback available. I didn't think Miami was a great fit for him due to the kind of offense that Cristobal ran tonight, and what Cam Ward has done in his career does not match. He would throw up picks. He would force the ball, make mistakes in the past. Kudos to him. Shouts out to the Miami people. He did not do that tonight. And he sat there and he was pissed off. He was slamming slamming the pad, whatever you call it. I want to call it an iPad, but I want to say their Windows Surface or something like that. He slams the tablet down. He was pissed because he wasn't getting off. I don't know what his stats were, maybe 200 yards, something like that. Patted him a little bit there in garbage time when you had Mario going for it on fourth down and going for 2 points and everything like that. Hey, that's cool, man. I get it. It still wasn't no damn 45-3 though, buddy. We got our touchdown. So take that, Miami fans. Take that, people that I owe a bet to and stuff. I'm sure there's probably a guy on Twitter already saying that I'm welching on a bet, this and that. Dude, I'm on my post-game show. I pay my bets. So when the guy comes with his little tweet and confirms it, I'll make my off-season bet hole. I hope a bunch of guys didn't lose money out there like I did. I learned my lesson from time to time making these bets in the off season, but I don't know. I think I've came out on the good end of it. Florida fans back in the Jimbo days, they would bet every year in the off season. So I racked up there for a couple of years. But yeah, again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the FSU Voice of College Football Instant Reaction Show. It's also simulcast over on my channel at the Renegade Report. Whether you're there, whether you're here, FSU Voice of College Football, you're out here in the barn with George and the dogs and the horses and everybody else, just hit the like, hit the subscribe. We would really, really appreciate it. Sorry to the comments. I've been trying to give you guys a good monologue, try to cover most of the stuff that happened in the game. Prayers out to our guy, Ashlyn Barker. Oh, man. It was just one of those things in football where he went to go for the tackle and the running back lowered his head to protect himself at the same time. I don't even remember the guy's name. It was one of the younger running backs for Miami, either that or just a no-name guy, Ahmad something or another. Long story short, he got ear hold, and it looked really scary just the way he was, you know, knocked out face down in the ground. So he ended up getting up, getting helped by trainers off to the side of the field. And then a beautiful young lady helped him to the locker room. It seemed like she knew what she was doing, but it was a little shaky on my TV copy. I didn't like how off balance he was, and then making him walk all the way down there. He probably didn't want to get on the cart, a pride thing. But yeah, just hoping he's all right. So prayers out there to Ashlyn Barker, number 27, the safety for Florida State.